Right, welcome to this battlefield terrain tutorial. This is going to be a step-by-step video showing you how you can achieve the same kind of battlefield as you see before you. So, gone for a very, very grim dark, it's atmospheric, chaos-tainted battlescape here for this terrain setup. So, very, very strong theme for this one. One of my favourite setups here, just the whole rusty, dried blood kind of effects going on with this board. Very atmospheric for your grim dark games of Warhammer 40K. As you can imagine, Dark Angels fighting across here, Chaos Space Marines, those kind of factions across this board. So step by step, I'll take you through the processes involved, the different products and so on that make up this table. I'll leave as many links as I can in the video description below, and you feel free to copy all of the setup here. You can replicate it or just take elements from it for your own games. So there's multiple layers of this board, starting from a foundation, then working your way up. The first step is the battle mat. It just sort of sets the tone for the table. So we've got nice rusty colours going on with this one here. It's from Gamemat.eu. It's 6x4 in size. So I've marked the boundary across here with these pipes to make it 60 inches across for your regular games of 40K 10th edition. So for this particular battle mat, it may well be back in stock. It could be on its way, or it might be out of stock. It may be available in a different size. So I'll leave as many links as I can for this one in the video description below. So there is an alternate mat to this one, which is similar kind of tones, nice browny rust kind of colours, which you could swap that out for and it'll look just as good. But check out the video description below. For Gamemat.eu, there is an 11% discount code. That's also in the video description that you can use for 11% off of your order. And Gamemat.eu have told me that if you're shipping from them, because they're based in the EU, so ship across the EU and then over into the UK as well, they'll pay all duties for you. So you don't have to worry about import duties and so on. That's all covered by them. So the battle mat gives you a foundation, and that's the kind of colour palette to work with. So we've got all sorts of tones here, black, rust, metallics going on, some very deep reds. And so I'm trying to get the terrain to match in with that just to really set the atmosphere across the board. So the next main structure that we have is a terrain set from Gamemat.eu. So it's the industrial terrain set. So it's these structures here. You get two of these, actually separate buildings. So you got 1, 2. There's another 2 there, which I've changed up the colours on. The main colour here is Avalon Sunset and then Corn Red. This deeper kind of red colour. The terrain set comes pre-made, pre-painted. So you can unbox it and use it straight away. I've added on some extra effects, some extra colours, just to enhance these. Also things like some transfers and also like Imperial propaganda posters as well, which there's one on the side of the building just there. There is a full tutorial for transforming the terrain on the channel. So that's covered. I'll link that out for you in the video description below. But you get 2 of those, so you get 4 of those in total. The large structure across the other side of that building there comes as part of that set. You get 4 of these, which are very useful. And then you get 4 large containers, which I've stacked over in that corner. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. You also get some terrain crates as well in with that set. But it really fills up half the board quite comfortably. So it really bulks out the terrain nicely for you. You could easily double that set over. You get 2 sets, that would fill out the table completely. But I've mixed it up here with some Games Workshop terrain as well. So half the board filled up with the industrial terrain set, and then the other half, as I have used some Necromunda terrain. So it's the Dark Uprising terrain set here from Games Workshop. So you get these like hive walls in with it, and then these platforms which you can build. So looking something like this. Brilliant terrain. So the effect on this is sprayed silver, and then I've applied dirty down rust generously to it, and then used a damp cloth to then remove the excess when it's dried, and to return the raised areas back to the metallic kind of effect. But that's the kind of effect you can get with that. It's brilliant. It literally takes minutes to do, which is the great thing about dirty down rust. So I've done it in different sections. It's just connecting it all up. You just get these brilliant walkways. Yeah, really good stuff. And you can mix it up, and it joins up nicely with the industrial terrain set from Gamemat.eu. So again, very atmospheric. The rusty effect goes really well with the battle mat. And I've kept the colours quite neutral, so I can use this colour scheme across multiple. I've used it previously on a desert terrain setup. Here in the rusty city, you can use it out in different setups So trying to keep it so that it will transfer over to different terrain boards. So that's for Games Workshop, and then also combined with the Adeptus Mechanicus terrain, the AdMech terrain, which is a structure here, seems to build up at the second level at the same height, thankfully, so you can butt them up and join them together. There's a larger structure across here. Again, brilliant terrain piece, or terrain set that you can get. You can build it in different ways. This is actually in 3 sections. There's a section there, middle part, and then one over here. Then one of these actually is separate, so that just stacks up on there to really add some nice height to your board. So bringing all those elements in, and then finally across there is an individual piece called the Warp Portal. That's pre-painted, pre-made, just comes out the box looking like that. That comes from Gamemat.eu, and again I'll link that in the video description below. So with all those elements coming together, the table's really filled out here. It's a nice sort of hive city sort of feel to it, certainly with the taint of chaos. So I'm a big fan of strongly themed, very atmospheric tables for games. You can really immerse yourself in your battles. So using Dirty Down Rust, I've actually done a tutorial for that. It's very, very easy. So it's actually, Dirty Down Rust is actually used in the movie industry for props and so on. And then wargamers have caught onto it and brought it across for use on terrain. So I'd highly recommend the stuff. It is expensive. One little pot has done all this terrain set across here with about half the bottle remaining, so it will stretch a good long way, but I'll link that out so you can follow the tutorial for using Dirty Down Rust. So then I think just as important, if I took away all the accessories from this, it would look quite plain. So there are accessories that have been used, which I'll run through here, which I think they're so important just to really finish the table off. The first thing is these walkways. So I've built these here, and it's good to see other people building them and using them. I've seen some photographs from people that have been putting them together. So these are scratch built. They're made from a material called Plastruct. Architects use it for making model buildings. And then the mesh that you can see is from a car body aluminium repair kit. It comes in sheets. You can cut it with scissors to the shape that you want and use it to make these brilliant walkways. But they're really good for spanning across gaps to give you another level to put models on. I've run 3 walkways all the way across here, and I put some walkways across there as well. Actually built, physically stuck 2 walkways on top of that building as well, so you've got these nice level areas. And when you do that, when you're able to span across gaps, infantry models can run around all the way around the table. So I think it's a great way of just connecting your terrain together. Because fighting on the board is okay, but if you're able to fight up at different levels on the table, it just adds another dynamic to your games. And I guess especially if you're playing games like Necromunda, for example, where the multiple levels really adds a nice dynamic to the battle. I've also built one for the top of the warp portal here as well, so there's a nice vantage point for a unit to go on top there as well. So there is a tutorial for this already on the channel. A lot of people have been asking, so I've put a full tutorial for these on the channel. The same process for building the walkways is the same process for building the fences that you can see across there, the barbed wire fences, and also the propaganda posters, which are great fun. Built using the same materials, same process. And you can dot those around the board again, just to add some nice atmospherics to your table. And the posters are great. They really just sort of set the scene. This is a 40k battlefield. So that's all in one tutorial. So walkways, posters, chain link fences, all in the one video. So if you can master one, you'll be able to master them all. And the great thing about these will transfer across from whatever game you're playing. So if you're playing Necromunda, desert, grassland, snow, whatever it is, these will move across because they're just in plain metal. So I use them in all the battlefields. So once you've got them, you can get some great use out of them. So that's a really important set for accessories on the table. Then to finish off, there's no real need for like bushes and scrub in this one. Didn't want any vegetation in this at all. So I have used stones and scatter just to blend the whole thing in. So you've got your hard edge of your terrain, your board, and then I just used some little stones just to create sort of rubble kind of effects here and just to blend the terrain in with the table. So these are literally stones that I've got from the beach, like so. And then I've used sprays to match them into the table. So there's some black spray being used on these, some red, some brown, and I put the stones into a tray spray them over one of the colours, shake them up, spray them again, shake them up, and keep going until the colours that you want start to dominate the stones, and then you can use those on this board. I've got different bags of stones now. I've got desert themed ones, different colour schemes depending on what board I'm using, but the stones do a great job. It just really blends the table in nicely, and you're trying to get away from the 2D flatness of the mat. The mats are great, but they are 2D, they're flat, and so the little stones just sort of lift them and help to bring the table up as you try and merge the 3D in with the 2D. So again, a very important touch I like to add into the boards just to blend the whole thing in. So that's the table. I haven't yet fought a game across this one, but very much look forward to filming some battle reports on this table. Feel free to copy all of the elements so you can recreate this table entirely. If you follow the tutorials along, I'll show you step by step. You can follow all of these and you'll be able to match this board, or you can take elements from it. I'll leave as many links as I can in the video description below. But as per usual, this series will fade out here with some music just to capture the flavour of this table. Keep a lookout for more videos in this series. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time.